thank you so much for being here, being part of this panel discussion. I'm going to start off with you, Roberto.
I am Roberto Palomba, and I'm an architect and designer and chief design officer of Ed Standard.
I'm Andrew Harms, I'm partner and technical director at LW Design.
Chris Barnes, been here in Dubai for 23 years, and I've seen the evolution of this country with my company, Broadway Interiors.
Oh, great. So you were here since you were born. That's basically what.
Oh, you're very kind. We were just discussing the fact that we're boomers, so that maths doesn't work out.
Hey, you're not boomer.
No, 40.
No, that's not boomer. That's not boomer.
No, darling. You're not boomer. You play in a different club.
Andrew, you can be part of my club, but we're the millennials. We're going to be part of that. Great. So we're here to talk about green sustainability, green initiatives, everything in the whole concept of being sustainable. But before I get into the deep dive, can we start off with what sustainable architecture or sustainable design means to each of you? I'm going to start off with that side of the end because, Chris, you look like you're just about bursting.
I am bursting because I truly don't believe in the word sustainable. I believe in the word responsibility, because for me, responsibility is the cornerstone, not sustainability.
Sustainability, I think the term, it needs to evolve as time goes on. I mean, I studied 20 years ago, and sustainability was the key word, but the things that we're looking at now are the same things. But when people say how to be sustainable, it's how they were saying to be sustainable 20 years ago, but I think the world has changed so much that the term needs to be responsible, definitely, I agree with that, but we need to keep updating what the term means all the time.
Yeah, but I think I agree perfectly, but what is crazy for me is the incoherent attitude of those people that say I'm sustainable and then their attitude ends in front of a shop. And we will be sustainable. No, we have to be sustainable now. So time is now. We have no time. And when I design, I feel, and I try to share this feeling with my team, that we have to be sustainable and to have to force sometimes the brands to be sustainable. We have a big responsibility because I design this year like more than 50 new products. Every year I work in like 30 years, so you can imagine how many products I design in my life. And I think that I am responsible, my people is responsible, we are all responsible. So if we start to think the developer on one side and the architect from the other side, if we are able to create a quality that becomes a symbol that needs to be preserved for the future generation, and we accept the challenge to do that. Perhaps we are going to create something that is durable and it will not be trash and will not be substituted. Think about concrete. When we start to build in concrete, the quality of the buildings went down. I don't want to say that we have to start to build again with the stone, of course, but perhaps we have to think that not necessarily all the technological revolution we had was bringing the architecture, design and so on into a new quality. It was just creating a sort of a loop that what we are today involved in doing, throw away, doing again and throw away. Fashion is the perfect example. When I was young, I was the first child, thanks God, because my son, my brother had my dresses, and the last one got the dresses step by step. So when he was able to buy finally his own, he was so proud and happy. He said, "This is mine. It's not belonging to. It's not the third generation." Yeah. But it was normal for us. Nobody was buying every season an entire wardrobe.
Challenges we've got with designing longevity and durable, of course, that's the way we should be thinking. But the challenges we have is, the client's bottom line again is every time we spec something straight away, it's that doesn't meet the budget, we've got to go cheaper straight away. So it's that short-term thinking with the bottom line. And then it's the trend changes. Operators have 25, 30 different brands. So if you're designing in a hotel, sometimes the brand's been changed. And the worst one is restaurants. If you design for a restaurant, you could design longevity, but then 3-4 years later, it's a
new concept.
Chinese has become a Mexican, or and then suddenly you've got design in a way that you can renovate it.
As Roberto said, if you talk about durability and we talk about the buildings in our home country, they're built with stone, they took forever to build, and they've lasted forever. And they weren't full of technology, they were full of the indigenous materials of the region. They built them in a crafted way with skilled operatives, and they took the time that they took to actually stand, and they're standing today, and they will stand for as long as we ever want. I mean, the only pollution that the Duomo ever has is soot pollution, and it needs to just be cleaned every time, but it still looks stunning, it's lasted forever, and it will last forever, you know. But whereas here, we're creating our history, we're massively influenced by the technology that's available to us. So it does mean we've got a completely different dynamic to European cities, for example, that have that sort of 200, 300-year-old evolution and history. So we have the benefit of technology, but that's kind of twisted it away from the original principles of construction, which supported durability.
And then back home, when we're learning to design sustainably, we're always taught design passively, you know, naturally heat a building, naturally cool a building, naturally ventilate a building. And then when you've got that down, you then look to technologies to finish it off when you're trying to get your zero emissions. But now I think that's back home. Here, you've got the different kind of challenges to passively heat and cool a building. You know,
Yeah.
It's not easy to passively to cool or ventilate here. So
some of those old principles of the narrow walkways and the corridors and how they were able to keep it. There's no electricity that was pumping air through those corridors, and it worked really well. Traditional, durable construction.
I think we have to use technology, not to be used by technology. Sometimes I feel like we are used by technology and by technocrats. The technocrats thinks that they own the design, they own the projects. And I have nothing against engineers, but technocrats sometimes they are the ones that believe too much in technology like a religion. Technology is not a religion. Technology is a tool, and we have to use for sure this tool in a proper way, but knowing, conscious about the limits of technology and the danger of hyper technology. Otherwise, we are not humanistic. I think as architects, we have to be humanistic, the human-centric. Technology is like now the AI, the stuff. That is an important tool, could be a very important tool, but we have to be conscious that the hand is like a more powerful pencil, but the hand that keeps this pencil is still a human hand. We don't stop the illusion that something like this will substitute the humankind.
Definitely.
And otherwise, we have to stop it before we go to science fiction. And I don't want to live in this kind of planet. I move to Mars.
And what if that's the same kind of architecture there as well? That's the fear, right? It's gonna just go throughout, and everybody is just gonna be building the same.
Listen, I am 60 years old with a big belly. Nobody wants to kiss me. It's the only joy I have to this design. Please don't do it. Let me design. So it's the only joy I have in my life. Don't destroy it. If I have to see my blood, that's a disaster. You please don't take me away. Also this joy with the artificial intelligence, please. I don't know what you think about, but